In the summer of 1964, as the world stared nervously across the Cold War divide, a shape emerged from the hangars of North American aviation. It was long, it was white, it was impossibly sleek, and it looked less like a bomber and more like something that had slipped through a crack in time. This was the XB-70 Valkyrie, a stainless steel cathedral of speed, ambition, and unapologetic American engineering swagger. For 6 months, from July through December, the Valkyrie program entered a phase of testing so intense, so ambitious, that even engineers conducting it sometimes wondered whether they were validating an aircraft or summoning a myth. With every new trial, the line between cutting-edge engineering and outright audacity grew thinner, as if the machine itself were daring them to keep up. To understand the Valkyrie, you have to understand the era that demanded it. The early 1960s were a time when speed equals survival, when altitude meant safety, when the United States believed that technology could outrun danger. The Soviets had missiles, America had imagination, and North American aviation had the audacity to purpose a bomber that could fly at Mach 3 at 70,000 feet and still return home in time for dinner. The Valkyrie wasn't just a weapon, it was a statement, a declaration that the future belonged to those bold enough to build it. It flew as if the sky itself were merely a suggestion, a boundary waiting to be rewritten, and in its shimmering wake, it left a challenge to every generation that followed: dare to dream this big. The XB-70 wasn't designed so much as it was willed into existence. Its structure was a mosaic of stainless steel honeycomb panels, each one brazened in furnaces large enough to roast a small house. Its titanium components had to be shaped with techniques that barely existed, and at Mach 3, the aircraft expanded several inches from heat alone. This wasn't an airplane, it was a physics experiment with landing gear. But the Valkyrie didn't just fly fast, it flew beautifully. It surfed on its own shockwave, using compression lift to ride a cushion of air twice the speed of a rifle bullet. Its wingtips folded down like the wings of a mechanical falcon, locking the aircraft into a high-speed aerodynamic groove. Every test conducted in 1964 reinforced the same truth: the Valkyrie wasn't ahead of its time, it was ahead of its century. Each flight felt like a glimpse into the future. The rest of the world hadn't caught up yet. The question was no longer whether such machines could exist, but why humanity ever stopped daring to build them. But a machine is only as extraordinary as the people who fly it, and the Valkyrie attracted pilots who were equal parts courage, precision, and a quiet defiance. Al White, the calm, analytical chief pilot from North American, a man who could fly a Mach 3 bomber in the morning and go home and fix a leaky faucet without breaking a stride. Joe Cotton, the Air Force cool-headed tactician, confident, sharp, a kind of pilot who treated the Valkyrie like a thoroughbred racehorse. Respect it, understand it, and it will reward you with performance that borders on the supernatural. Carl Cross, disciplined, brilliant, and deeply respected, a rising star who approached the Valkyrie with the seriousness of a surgeon and the enthusiasm of a kid handed the keys to a spaceship. Fitz Fulton, the chase pilot, the guardian angel, the man who flew alongside the Valkyrie and other aircraft, watching, analyzing, and keeping the team safe. These were not daredevils, they were professionals. They understood the stakes, they understood the risk, and they understood that flying the Valkyrie meant stepping into the unknown with nothing but training, instinct, and trust in the machine beneath them. It was a pact between human and aircraft. During this tense window, the Valkyrie's 6Y J93 engines were pushed through the gauntlet of throttle sweeps, burner light tests, and sustained high-power runs that rattled the desert floor like a distant artillery barrage. Each ignition was a small act of defiance against physics, and every data spike sent engineers scrambling to verify that the world's most temperamental power plants were behaving themselves. At the same time, the control surface teams were busy touring the airplane's giant elevons and folding wingtips through their full ranges, hunting for hydraulic lag, flutter signatures, and any hint that the airframe might have second thoughts at Mach 3. It was a ballet of brute force and precision, engines howling, actuators groaning, and a room full of engineers pretending they weren't sweating through their shirts as the Valkyrie proved, one system at a time, that it was ready to step into the thin air where only theory had existed before. The Valkyrie program produced only 2 prototypes, but each one had a soul. AV-1, the firstborn, was the cautious pioneer. It proved the airplane could fly, climb, accelerate, and behave like something other than a stainless steel brick. It validated the aerodynamics, the structure, and the systems. It was the Valkyrie that whispered, yes, this is possible. AV-2, the refined sibling, was a masterpiece built with better materials, tighter tolerances, and improved systems. It was the aircraft that truly represented the Valkyrie's potential. It was the one that hit Mach 3, the one that flew like a dream, the one that made engineers stare in awe and whisper, we actually built this. Together, they formed a duo unlike anything else in aviation history, two machines that pushed the boundaries of what humans could build, fly, and imagine. The Valkyrie never became the bomber it was meant to be. The world changed. Missiles replaced manned bombers, budgets shifted, politics intervened, and the program that had once promised to redefine strategic aviation was reduced to a research platform. But the Valkyrie's legacy is not defined by what it didn't do, it's defined by what it did. It proved that Mach 3 flight was possible for a large aircraft. It advanced material science by decades. It influenced the SR-71, the B-1, the Space Shuttle, and countless research programs. It trained a generation of engineers who would go on to shape the future of aerospace, and perhaps most importantly, it showed the world what happens when ambition is given wings. Today, only one Valkyrie survives. It rests in the National Museum of the United States Air Force, silent, immaculate, and impossibly large. Visitors walk beneath it in awe, craning their necks, trying to understand how something this futuristic could have been built in the 1960s. But the Valkyrie is not a relic, it's a reminder of a time when engineers dreamed without limits, when pilots flew without fear, when a nation believed that the future was something you built, not something you waited for. The North American XB-70 Valkyrie stands as a testament to Cold War-era ambition and engineering prowess, a breathtaking marvel of speed and design that pushed the boundaries of flight, even as changing technology sealed its fate. Though only one prototype remains, its legacy soars on as a symbol of humanity's relentless pursuit of the skies. If you've enjoyed this presentation, please give us your thoughts. Hit that like button and subscribe. See you in the next one. Space Extra, out.